so many things I've learned about being a designer in Zambia, but I mean, the first thing is inspiration can come from anywhere. I mean, even bottle tops. I mean, I have a line that's just inspired by bottle tops to pendelo. So, I mean, something that you would ordinarily throw away, you can actually make something gorgeous and something nice out of that. The other thing about being a designer in Zambia is you actually can't find a lot of the things that you want. And sometimes it's like really frustrating because you're like, oh, I want that color. And you go to the shops and you don't find that color. But I think with creativity, I've actually found that some of my greatest creations have come from the frustration of not finding what I want and having to think of something else. And sometimes that something else is just a whole lot better than the thing that you came up with in the first place. So you learn to make stuff out of things that other people ordinarily wouldn't make stuff out of, stuff that, you know, people throw away. I use scraps of fabric, for instance, to make jewelry and stuff. So I'm looking at, yeah, showcasing what Zambia's got to give out there. As a yoga instructor, gosh, I never thought I would enjoy it so much. I mean, it's just amazing to work with people and to see them grow over time. So, you know, you just learn how remarkable the human body is. I mean, I have some clients who are in their 50s, and when they started a couple of years ago, they could barely touch their toes, and they were groaning and moaning every time they had to get off the floor. So to actually see people getting up the floor nice and easy, being able to touch their toes and becoming more confident and more in love with their body. I think a lot of people are always, I don't like my stomach, I don't like my toes, I don't like, and I tell them, look, yoga is all about love and learning to love and accept yourself as you are. And that doesn't mean that when you love yourself, it means that you become complacent and stop trying to better yourself. Actually, the more you love yourself, the more you care and cherish and make sure that you stay healthy. In my private yoga practice as well, what I've realized is that sometimes the way the universe works is definitely mysterious. In a lot of the yoga poses, you don't have to pull and force and stretch and force matters. Sometimes what you have to do is just learn to let go and get into the flow of the universe, get into the flow of gravity, and the more you relax and get into the flow of gravity, the more, hey presto, you stretch. And I think there are a lot of lessons that, you know, I take from yoga into the rest, you know, of life. Sometimes you need to find the flow of what's going on and kind of get into it. So those are some of my greatest lessons of being a yoga teacher. As a mother of two gorgeous children, one son and one beautiful, funky, crazy daughter, and very cool, chilled out son, I think I've learned a lot from my kids. I realized that, you know, children, they're so different. I mean, here are two children from the same parents, brought up more or less in the same environment, and I tell you, from when they're in your tummy, you can tell that they're different people. So it's amazing that that these little and now mine not so little people, but they teach me so much about life. My son is definitely much more patient kind of person, so I think through my son I've learned to be a little bit more patient. He's incredibly sensitive, so I think he always reminds me of how sensitive people can be and how maybe as a mother it's important what you say and how you say it and what your intention is, because, and it's not just the words sometimes as well that you say, but what's the emotion and what's the intention, you know, behind it. And from both my children, I mean, when you have children, you laugh every day. I mean, you can be pretty much sure of laughing once a day when you have kids. So that's the amazing thing about having children. Of course, they also tell you how old you are. So just look at them, and then you know how much time has passed. So you're really very much in awe, you know, of life, to think, oh my gosh, did that person, you know, come to you? So I think you really are in awe of life, of the universe, and just the diversity of the universe to create all these different people. And really, I I'm a firm believer in reincarnation also as a Buddhist, and I really feel that my children and all of us have lived lives, before. So I think sometimes it's very arrogant of me, of a mother. Sometimes I feel humble to say, who am I to say that this is the way of doing things, or this is one way of looking at things, because they have also lived in this life and they have lived in another life. So they have actually a lot to actually show you about life. I mean, not to say that they can't be irritating as well. I mean, children can be, irritating, but I think that's the thing with all relationships. You learn a lot about yourself um, through rubbing up against each other. And I think in a family, you see each other in the morning, you see each other when you wake up first thing in the morning when you're not in the best mood. So you get to learn a lot about yourself through your children. I remember with my son and my daughter, sometimes they just have these funny, quirky habits, and you're like, why does this child keep saying or doing something strange, and you catch yourself actually doing those same habits. So then you actually realize from the other side what it actually looks like when you do something like that or say something like that. So I think children are a great mirror. I mean, you look into the physical mirror and you see our physical manifestation of our image there, but sometimes we need to see an image of what's in our hearts, or what's in our actions, and what's in our habits. And children are just great to mirror back what you do in your life. Sometimes you might get annoyed at your child for doing certain things, but I've learned to check myself. If my child is doing something which is irritating, it's likely to be actually coming from myself. I'm still hoping to have one more child though. So maybe one, if I can find the right guy. What I've learned from my travels abroad is Zambia is beautiful. I mean, serious. Zambia is freaking beautiful. I mean, as much as I love to travel and I go away, I'm always so grateful to come back to Zambia. And sometimes if you don't travel, you have a tendency to just criticize and see everything that is wrong in Zambia. But when you go away, you miss the smiling faces. You miss the funny nosy curiosity. You miss the weather, you miss Kalembula, you miss all sorts of things. But what I have also learned is this whole different world out there, and there's so many other things. A lot of ideas of things to do here come from seeing things and how they're done outside of Zambia. Then you realize, we don't have this, back home. Maybe if we did have this, then this is a business opportunity, or maybe if we did things this way. So yeah, there's a lot of learning points from outside. I mean, a lot of decor. I must say I get a lot of ideas from decor. I'm focusing mainly on clothes design, but I am very interested in home design, and I definitely love to go to new places just to see the way they put things together, and for gardens as well, the way people landscape, the way people construct their buildings. I think those are the ideas and the things that I bring home with me.